Hey guys, how's it going? Mr. Cycler here. So I want to make a video to show you in the simplest way possible how to get your presentation ready to be submitted and get a 40 out of 40 on it. So this over here is a completely blank slate of your presentation. It has everything that you need in terms of the content. Now your job as the designer is to take every single element of C.R.A.P, contrast, repetition, alignment, and proximity, and make sure every single slide is embedded with that. So this video is going to be a demonstration of at least one way to do so, just in case you really need some sort of jumping off point. Now this is not what I recommend you do. I do not want you simply to copy what I do, but if you need, I want you to take this as a fantastic guide of how to, in about 5 minutes, transform your slides into something that is C.R.A.P, or in other words, it embodies C.R.A.P. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start on my contrast slide, and I'm going to change my font. I'm going to start actually on the idea of proximity, where I want every single slide to have really, really good proximity. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use Rockwell Extra Bold. I'm going to size this up to size 90, and I'm going to do this for every single one of my slides. So for this title over here, I'm going to make it Rockwell Extra Bold. I'm going to size it up to 90. And currently I'm making sure that every single one of my slides has a 2 out of 2 on proximity. Now, while you are screen recording your response to this presentation, your job is to explain that on each one of your slides, you have specifically chosen a font size and a font that is bold enough and large enough to try and make sure that everything stands out, which in this case does to every single audience member. So I'm also going to do this for my title slide because I want to make sure that my title slide stands out. The words that are in the title are big enough that anyone who's reading it can see. Although I'm having an issue right now with getting this to be typed, I'm going to delete this, and there we go. So I'm going to make this up to size 90, maybe even actually a little bigger because it's my title. Let's turn this into Rockwell Extra Bold, and voila, let's make it a little bigger. Elements of an effective presentation. So I am by no means advocating this is the best slide that you can possibly make. It's also included by, for me, David Steckler. And let's choose a very similar font, not maybe Rockwell Extra Bold, but just Rockwell over here. Let's make it a little bigger, and let's create a little bit of alignment. So maybe I align all this off to the left. So proximity is almost fully taken care of. So the only thing that I want to do next is I want to change my font over here to something that's a little bit more bold, it's a little easier to see, than the base one, which is Calibrate. So I'm going to change this over just to Rockwell over here, and I'm going to size this up to maybe size 32. Just a little bit bigger. Actually, let's go with 34. I'm going to do this to every single slide. We're going to make this Rockwell. So again, proximity is almost completely taken care of. And right now what I'm doing is I'm showing repetition. Repetition is showing that all of my slides have a font that's at least big enough to be seen, and that there is alignment between my slides where the font that I've chosen is the same, the size that I've chosen is the same. That's going to make my presentation look nice and clean. So let's bring this up to size 34. So now I have proximity across every slide over here. And let's also just show that with here, let's do 34 to make sure this is also repeated. So next thing over here is I'm going to start doing some contrast. I'm going to choose a color. Now, something that's very hard to understand for a lot of people in terms of repetition is that you want to have this clear sense of unity. So all of your background slides should not be different colors. A lot of people really like to make one slide over here this color, and make this slide this color, and make this slide over here. Those are funnily alike, this color, and make this slide this. Like, people like to make slides different colors, but if you look at companies, that is not what you do. Even like if you use one of the pre-built slides, it makes everything the same background. So you also want to make sure that you show that every one of these slides has the same background to show that repetition. Your slides can be colorful, but you can use color through pictures. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose a slide theme for all of them. Now, I never said that over here you can't choose one of the pre-formatted ones, but I'm going to just format my backgrounds in terms of repetition. I'm going to do a gradient fill. And I like blue, so I'm going to do a nice gradient blue, and I'm not going to do something fancy. I'm going to choose one of the blues that's already formatted over here. So I think I like this one over here, so I'm going to apply this to all of my slides. There's a reason this button even exists. All your slides should be the same. Now, something that you should notice is that because this is black over here in terms of contrast, I want a lighter blue to make my black stand out. If I were to choose a much darker blue instead of this light blue over here, maybe this one over here. And if I were to make this a much darker color, I want to make sure I make a white over here to make sure that it really pops out. So choose colors that are opposite each other. I'm going to make sure that I undo this enough so that all my slides are the same over here. So undo, undo, undo. Let's get rid of this. And I'm not undoing it over here. Don't know what happened. All right. Let's change this back to the same blue that we already started with. All right, so you can see I even am struggling in this video to get this done. So I'm going to completely delete this slide on contrast. I'm going to duplicate my slide on repetition, and I'm going to recreate my slide on contrast. Contrast. And then I'd change all the words over here to show that contrast is about making sure every word on the slide can be read and the colors help words stand out and pop. So this is different than before, but it's basically the same idea on contrast. So next thing that I'm going to do is I want to make sure that all my slides are aligned. To be showing this alignment, I want to make sure I have this nice clean line on every one of my slides over here. If you want to take this even a step further, what you could do is you could technically justify your words to make sure that with Control-J that you get this line over here to this side. I'm not even going to go that far. I'm just going to show that alignment has to do with from slide to slide to slide to slide. The letters are in the exact same spot like they are right now. Proximity, everything is readable. Alignment, they're nice and aligned. They're all in the same spot. Repetition is showing the design. In other words, the color over here is all the same. Contrast, everything is readable. So this over here is a completely effective presentation. It's nothing fancy. It's a very good starting point. And from here, you can use the elements that I've showed in my more advanced videos to insert pictures and colors and other things to make this more fun. But this is how a presentation should look at its very core. I don't think that you need to insert anything more to be effective. But to make it more fun, the same way YouTube tutorials, YouTube videos look, you want to insert pictures or at the very least some sort of icon or image to make it stand out. So you are definitely not done if your presentation looks like this at this point, but what you should do is you should go watch my other videos, insert shapes, icons, go over to the font over here. You should play with the font tools over here, such as shadow, reflection, glow, bevel, rotation. I want you to play with your borders over here. I want you to use the gradient tool to make really fun backgrounds and colors and insert pictures and make your pictures look like this and remove backgrounds. A ton of cool stuff, but please start making your presentation at least look like this with a font that you can say, the reason I specifically chose this font was because it shows good proximity. My color over here was chosen to show good contrast across all my slides. I specifically aligned my words so that there's no ugly lines, like these things are perfectly lined up, and from slide to slide to slide they're all the same. And my repetition of elements, you can see that the font I've chosen, the size of the font is the same from slide to slide over here, and that my title is the same. It's the same Rockwell Extra Bold across, like you're showing this nice clean unity across the slides. So that is how to create an effective presentation. From here, what you need to do is you need to make that presentation more elegant. Thank you for watching, everyone. Have a good day.